Hi, Facebook world. Welcome to Saris Cycling Group. My name is Stephen Balsley, and today we're going to work through some yoga for cyclist poses. You're in one of the meeting rooms here at Saris Cycling Group in Madison, Wisconsin. I work for Saris, as does Brian and Tracy. Typically, a couple times a week, we get together and do some yoga here at Saris to kind of help work through things. All of us are active cyclists and runners and swimmers and everything, right? So we do everything. So what we want to talk about today is different poses that we can do and a little sequence we can do to help kind of get you better at cycling, ease some pain when you get off the bike, ease some discomfort, but also build some strength and build some areas that might be weak based upon too much riding. So things we want to think about, we're going to think about our wrists, our shoulders, our hips, our hamstrings. We all have tight hamstrings from riding bikes. And then we're going to work all the way across the body with some easy flow and easy positions. So if you want to follow along with us, awesome, rock and roll. If you want to kind of follow along afterwards, that's also cool. We're live on Facebook right now, and we're going to keep going. All right, so we're going to start in a standing position. So come to the top of your mat. Look down at your feet. So we're going to start just by walking back and forth gently, kind of grounding our feet down into the mat a little bit. As you start to feel the mat underneath your feet, take your gaze down towards your second toe. So you want to bring your second toe in line with your heel. So that's the center line of your foot. From there, you want to make sure you have enough space between the balls of your feet that you can fit 2 fists between your feet. That's about the width of your hips. It gives good stability. In yoga, we want to try to stack a bone on a bone on a bone as much as possible. From there, we're going to drop our hands down by our side, open our palms up towards the front of the room. You can roll out your shoulders a little bit if they feel tight, if they feel sore, maybe if you rode already today. We're going to talk about breathing, and we're going to cue via breath throughout the sequence. That being said, we just want you to breathe. Ideally, you're going to breathe in and out through your nose, but if you start to lose the poses or lose the pressure, we'd rather have you just breathe. Take a moment here and just notice your breath. As you start to notice your breath, let's bring control to our breath, taking a nice deep inhale all the way in. Fill your body up with air. Pause at the top and then exhale all the way back out. Take a nice deep inhale all the way in. A nice exhale all the way out. One more breath. This time as you inhale, bring your hands up overhead. Touch your palms together. Look up through your thumbs. Lift your chin up towards the sky. Find some length through your throat. Make sure you can still breathe comfortably, but actively reach your hands up towards the sky. Then exhale your hands to heart center. Inhale, bring your hands up overhead. Exhale, heart center. Inhale up overhead. This time as you exhale, hinge at your hips, drop your hands through heart center and fold all the way down towards the mat. If your fingertips don't grace the mat naturally, that's fine, bend your knees. Let go through the crown of your head. So this is the first stretch where we're really starting to find those hamstrings and that lower back. Both areas that get tight from a lot of riding. Shake your head yes. Shake your head no. Bring your hands to the opposite biceps. Slowly sway side to side. It can be a little movement. It can be a big movement. It doesn't matter. Whatever feels good. Exhale your hands down to the mat. From here, as you inhale, ground into your feet. Sweep your hands by your side. Rise all the way up. Bring your hands up overhead. Look up. Exhale out, heart center. Let's add on to the movement. Inhale, bring your hands up overhead. Exhale, hinge to the mat. Inhale up halfway. This time, bring your hands to your shins or your thighs. Actively press your hands into your legs. Again, we're working those hamstrings, trying to open them up. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to plank pose. So in plank pose, we want our hands underneath our shoulders. Our wrists 90 degrees with the top of the mat. We want to engage through our heels. From here, we're going to drop our knees down to the mat. Walk your hands back slightly so you form a tabletop with your hands underneath your shoulders. Ground the tops of your feet into the mat. So in riding a lot, especially for mountain biking, we start to run into some wrist issues. So we're going to do a little exercise here just to warm up our wrist. So we're going to start by taking some slow circles. Maybe those circles get bigger, maybe they don't. It's all right. Actively engage your thumb and your pointer finger down into the mat, the inner edge of your hand. Switch directions. Come to a point of pause. From here, we're going to bring our hands together so the back of our palm is together and our thumbs are facing either direction. For some of us, this is enough. This is enough of a pose. If it is, you're going to stay here. You're going to breathe for a little bit. If you feel like you have a little bit more, you're going to inhale forward, bringing your weight towards your thumb. And then you're going to exhale and bring your bum all the way down to your heels. Inhale, come all the way forward. Exhale your bum all the way down to your heels. One more time, inhale up. Exhale back down. From your bum, sit up into your heels. Hero's pose. Bring your hands together. Roll out your wrists. Brian can't see me, so he doesn't know that we're doing this. Shake out your wrist. See how you feel. See where you are. From mountain biking, from road cycling, that grip brings weakness to the wrist. We want to kind of open that up. A little concentrated effort sometimes makes a little bit of weakness. That's all right. Inhale, bring your hands up overhead. Exhale to heart center. This time as you inhale, rise up onto your knees. Then as you exhale, hinge back down to the mat. Find your hands underneath your shoulders. Walk your hands about one hand length out in front of where they are right now. Again, finding that grip between your pointer finger and your thumb, the inner edge of your hand. Curl your toes under. Pressing back into your heels, we're going to lift our hips up towards the sky. Pressing back into our heels again, we're going to work towards down dog. Now in down dog, ideally we're working on the length from our fingertip to the base of our spine. If that means bending your knees, then bend your knees. That's fine. Find your breath here. Shake your head yes. No. Straighten out your right leg, bend your left knee. Straighten out your left leg, bend your right knee. Walk it back and forth. See how your hamstrings feel today. See if you can move with your breath. Come back to a point of pause. So we're going to work our way back to the top of the mat. So what we want to do is we're going to inhale. We're going to lift our heels up towards the sky. Then we're going to exhale. We're going to bend our knees down towards the mat. We're going to hover for a second above the mat. Then stepping our right foot forward first and then our left. We're going to come to the top of the mat. Or if you're like Brian, you'll hop. We're going to inhale up halfway again, bringing our hands to our shins or our thighs. Feel that length through your hamstrings. Exhale, fold back down to the mat. Inhale, grounding into your feet. Sweep your hands by your side. Rise all the way up. Exhale out, heart center. Inhale, bring your hands up overhead. Hinging at the hips, fold back down to the mat. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, plant your hands. This time, step your left foot back first, and then your right. Find that plank pose again. Finding that strength, that core strength, which will help with cycling. Drop your knees to the mat. Ground the tops of your feet. Walk your hands back underneath your shoulders. Again, tabletop pose. So we worked on our wrists the first time we came to the mat. We're going to work on our shoulders this time. So grounding into your left hand, you're going to reach your right hand up to the sky. Then as you exhale, you're going to bend your left elbow, reach your right hand underneath. Then inhale, reach back up to the sky. Exhale, reach underneath. Inhale up. Exhale. On the third time, we're going to reach the hand through. We'll let the back of the hand find the mat. We'll let our right temple find the mat. That might be enough for you. If it is, stay here. If you want, you can reach your left hand long in front of you. Maybe you reach your left hand towards the small of your back. Maybe you reach your left foot towards your right hand. Breathe here. No matter where you are, ground back down into your left hand. Reach your right hand up to the sky. Exhale back down. Other side. Inhale your left hand up. Exhale, sweep it through. Inhale, lift. Exhale, sweep. One more time, inhale up. Exhale, sweep your left hand through. Let your left temple come down towards the mat. Again, you can reach that right hand long in front of you. We're trying to stretch out that left shoulder, find some length through our back. Breathe there. Let's take your hand to the small of your back. Maybe you can work your right foot towards your left hand. Find your breath. Concentrate your effort around the start of your inhale and the end of your exhale. Slowly ground back down into your right hand. With your left hand up to the sky. Exhale back down to the mat. Again, we're going to repeat that motion where we rise all the way up. So we'll bring our hands about one hand length out in front. Curl our toes under. Pressing back into our heels. Lift your hips up towards the sky. Pressing back into your heels. Find down dog. Inhale, bring your heels up towards the sky. Exhale, bend your knees down towards the mat. Stepping your left foot forward first and then your right. Come to the top of the mat. Inhale up halfway, your hands to your shins or your thighs. Really actively engage your hands into your legs. Then exhale, fold. Grounding into your feet, sweep your hands by your side, rise all the way up. Exhale out, heart center. All right, let's add on. Inhale, bring your hands up overhead. Exhale, fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, plant your hand, step your right foot to the back of the mat. Then your left. Again, we find this plank pose every time. We're tricking ourselves into doing more core work, building that core strength slowly, building warmth and heat, and then drop your knees. Ground the tops of your feet, walk your hands back underneath your shoulders. From here, we're going to take a typical cat-cow pose. So we're going to start by dropping our chest down towards the mat, looking up. As you exhale, curl out your spine, drop your head down between your elbows. Inhale, look up. Think of the udders of a cow. Then as you exhale, curl out your spine like an angry cat. Inhale. You're allowed to giggle. Exhale. Take it 2 more times. One more time. Come back to that nice neutral spine. Reach your hands one hand length out in front. Grip into that inner edge. Press. Curl your toes under. Press into your heels. Lift your hips up towards the sky. Down, down. Stepping your right foot forward first and then your left. Come to the top of the mat. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Bring your hands up overhead. Exhale out, heart center. One more time. We're going to come through this sequence. Inhale your hands up. Exhale, fold to the mat. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, plant your hands, step your left foot back, and then your right. This time, we're going to drop our knees to the mat. Then, leaving our toes curled under, our bum up nice and high, we're going to start by taking our chin and our chest to the mat first and taking our gaze forward. Then as you exhale, take your feet long behind you. Ground your toenails into the mat. Ground your pelvis. Setting up cobra pose. Inhale, rise up, cobra. Exhale, back down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale. So we're countering the effects of hunching over a bike by rising up, bringing lift through our collarbone, through our chest, and exhaling back down. One more time, inhale up. Exhale, curl your toes under, press to your knees first. I'm pressing back into your heels. Find your way to down dog. Find your breath. From here, inhale your right foot up to the sky. Reach long across your right leg. Feel that length, that distance away from your hands. Actively engage the muscles in your left leg. Skin to muscle to bone. Notice where you are. Notice how you feel. Take a nice inhale. As you exhale, bring your knee to your chest. Drop your head down to your knee. Inhale, lift. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, lift. One more time, knee to chest. Pause there for a second. Find length through your arms. Stack bone on bone. Then step your right foot all the way through. Get your heel underneath your ankle, underneath your knee. Drop your left knee down to the mat. Ground the top of your left foot. Rise up onto your right knee. Press down into your right shin. As you feel that hip engage, bring your hands up overhead. Just as we did earlier on, look up towards the sky, lift through your chin. It might become a little mini back bend for some people. Opening through our chest, countering that effect of hunching over a bicycle all the time. Opening up. Exhale, slip your hands back down to the mat. From here, you can leave your left knee grounded, or you can curl your left toes under and bring your knee up off the mat. From there, we're going to ground down into our left hand. We're going to open up through our right hand and find a twist. Find your breath. Engage across your center line. Squeeze your knees in towards each other. Exhale your right hand down to the mat. From here, step your right foot to the back of the mat. You have a couple of choices here. You can drop your knees again, drop your pelvis, ground your toenails, and inhale, look up, cobra. Another option will be to rock forward on your toes, bringing your shoulder heads over your fingers. Come halfway down, ground the tops of your feet, and rise up into up dog. The third option is to skip it all together and simply press your way back to down dog. Whatever makes the most sense for you. Inhale your left foot up to the sky. Let's repeat the other side. Again, engage skin to muscle to bone across that right leg. Feel strength and length as you lift that left foot away. Exhale, bring your knee to your chest. Inhale, lift. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, lift. One more breath, knee to chest, pause. Drop your head down. See if you can get your head all the way down to your knee. Maybe give your knee a little kiss. Yeah, maybe not today. Step your left foot all the way through. Get your heel underneath your ankle, underneath your knee. Drop your right knee down to the mat. Ground the top of your right foot, rise up onto your left knee. Press down into your left shin first. Or if you're like Brian, just rise up. Bring your hands up overhead. Exhale, sweep your hands back down to the mat. Again, you can leave that right knee grounded. Ground into your right hand, reach your left hand up. Or you can curl your toe under. We've all got nice tight hamstrings in this group. Breathe. Look down towards your right hand. Make sure you're stacking bone on bone on bone. Exhale your left hand back down to the mat. Step your left foot to the back of the mat. Flow through cobra. Flow through chaturanga. Or simply press back to down dog. Breathe. Either stepping one foot at a time or both. We're going to come to the top of the mat. So inhale your heels towards the sky. Exhale, bend your knees towards the mat. Step or float to the top of the mat. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, fold. From here, we're going to find Utkatasana, sometimes called chair pose. You can heel toe your feet together to bring your knees in towards each other, or you can take the pose with your heels directly underneath your sit bones. Whatever feels more comfortable for you. You're going to sit back into your heels. You're going to lift your hands up towards the sky. Maybe you start to work to bring your hands towards each other. Utka means fierce in Sanskrit. We call this chair pose, but nobody sits like this. Find fierce pose. Exhale, stand tall. Bring your hands in the heart center. As we come back, we're going to inhale. We're going to sit back, Utkatasana again. Then we're going to exhale and fold into the mat. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to plank pose. Find your flow. However you get back to down dog, take it. I'm simply going to press back. Inhale your right foot up to the sky. This time we're going to kick our right foot in towards our bum. We're going to stack our hip and we're going to open up. Now we want to make sure we're continuing to press down into that right armpit. Actively engaging, trying to keep our shoulders at the same depth. Inhale your right foot up to the sky. Exhale, step it all the way through. Find your heel underneath your ankle, underneath your knee. From there, drop your left heel towards the corner of the mat. Line up heel to arch. And we're going to rise up into Warrior Two. So in Warrior Two pose, our heel lines up with our back arch. For me, my back foot comes around slightly. That's okay. What we're trying to do is open up through our hips. We're finding a little bend through our right knee. Warrior Two is a pose of potential. So we start by looking back. Look back over your left foot. Those are the poses, the movements that brought you here. That's the foundation of your practice. Take your gaze over your right foot. That's your next step. That's the future. In cycling, like in yoga, we want to stay present in the moment. If you're racing, you don't want something to happen without you. Find your breath. Find a long gaze off that front middle finger. Slowly reverse your warrior, dropping your left hand down your left leg. Reach your right hand up to the sky. Then exhale, bring your right elbow down to your right knee. We'll find supported side angle. There are options here. You can reach your hand down towards the floor. You can rest your elbow on your knee. Then we're going to reach our left hand long towards the front of the room. Strong left hand. Take your gaze up towards the sky. We're going to come all the way back, reverse. Then we're going to scoop our hands down to the mat, frame our right foot, step your right foot to the back of the mat. Flow through chaturanga, flow through cobra, find down dog. Press back. Again, we're going to inhale our right foot up to the sky. Exhale, step it through. Again, we're going to drop our left heel and rise up. Warrior Two. This time we're going to reverse our warrior right away. Straighten out our right leg and come to reverse trikonasana, reverse triangle pose. We find that extra length, that extra lift. Then drop your right hand down to shoulder height. Reach your right hand forward. When your right hand won't reach anymore, we hinge down towards the floor. We don't have to go super low. I've got tight hamstrings. I ride a fair amount. All right. We're trying to work hip over hip, shoulder over shoulder. Maybe over time your hand starts to come lower down. That's fine. Right now we're just trying to work through that hamstring length. We've done wrists, we've done shoulders, we've opened up our chest. Now we're working down. Breathe. Inhale all the way back, reverse trikonasana. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, sweep your hands to the mat. Frame your right foot. Step your right foot to the back of the mat. Flow through chaturanga, or simply press back down dog. Other side, balance it out. In yoga, we work towards balance. In cycling, we tend to overemphasize one posture, one position. It's sometimes why this is more needed for cyclists than anyone else. Inhale your left foot up to the sky. Kick your left foot in towards your bum. Stack your hip. Again, actively engage through that right leg. Actively press down into your left shoulder. Inhale your left foot up to the sky. Exhale, step it all the way through. Drop your heel. Find your heel underneath your ankle. Drop your right heel. Let your right hand reach up and over. Warrior two. Take your time, find the pose. There's no rush. There's no secret. There's no hurry. Find your breath. Reverse your warrior. Exhale, come down, supported side angle. Try to take the same pose you took on the first side. So if you rested your elbow on your knee, rest your elbow on your knee again. Again, find length and strength across that right hand. Length down the right hand side of your body. Breathe. Inhale, back, reverse. Exhale, sweep your hands to the mat. Frame your left foot. Step your left foot to the back of the mat. Flow as you want to flow. Or skip it and just press back down dog. Again, inhale your left foot up to the sky. Exhale, step it through. Drop your right heel, rise up, warrior two. Reverse your warrior. Straighten out your left leg, reverse trikonasana, reverse triangle pose. Find that extra length, that extra lift. Then let your left hand come down to shoulder height. A little trick here is you can always take your right hand to your right hip. As you reach forward, keep yoinking back into that right hip. You're making sure you're stacking your hip on your hip, your shoulder on your shoulder as you come down. Inhale, back, reverse. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, sweep your hands to the mat. Frame your left foot. Step your left foot back. Flow if you want to flow. Or simply press back to down dog. We'll take 5 breaths here to find our breath. Inhale your heels up towards the sky. Exhale, bend your knees down towards the mat. This time we're going to step through our hands and come down to our bum. Any way you want to do that. Boop. We'll start by bringing our knees into our chest to start. Just as we started with cat-cow, initiating breath through movement, we'll initiate that here as we do our floor series. Inhale, look up. Exhale, drop your chin to your chest, curl at your spine. Inhale, look up. Exhale, curl out. One more breath, inhale, look up. Exhale, curl out, let go of your knees, come all the way down to your back. Inhale your hands up overhead, reach long above your mat, take your feet long in front of you, find that length, that distance. Exhale, bring your knees into your chest, give yourself a squeeze. Sometimes it feels good here to rock back and forth a little bit, finding the outer edge of your hip, massaging the small of your back. We've done a lot of hamstring work so far. It can help loosen up the small of the back, but we want to be Give it some love, give it some attention. Inhale, reach long. Exhale again, bring your knees into your chest, give yourself a squeeze. From here, take your feet straight down towards the mat. Now, you want to line your heels up with your sit bones, just as we did before, that same position. You should be able to reach down and touch your heels, hopefully. If that's not the case, it's all right. From there, we're going to press into our feet and into our shoulders. We're going to lift our pelvis up off the mat, and we're going to find bridge pose. Now, a couple options here. You can leave your hands flat on the floor. That's totally fine. You could bend your elbows. For a lot of cyclists, this front area of their body gets really tight from that hunched over position. So bending your elbows, pressing into your elbows can give you a little bit more lift. Maybe if you want, you interlace your hands underneath your back. From there, you can drop one shoulder and then the other underneath. Exhale back down to the mat. We're going to take this pose 3 times. So bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself a squeeze. Let your feet come back down to the mat. Touch your heels. Press into your feet and your shoulders. Lift your pelvis up off the mat. Again, try out different things. Maybe this time you bend your elbows and see how that feels. Exhale back down. This time when you bring your knees into your chest, reach up through the inner edge of your knees, find the bottoms of your feet. Press your heels up towards the sky. Bring your knees into your armpits, sometimes called happy baby pose. Stay active through your heels. Let your feet come back down. Again, reach down, touch your heels, press into your feet and your shoulders. Lift your pelvis away from the mat. Bridge pose. Find another option. Maybe this time you interlace your hands. Exhale back down. From here, reach your right foot straight up towards the sky. Bend your right knee. Cross your right foot over your left knee. We're going to take figure 4 pose. We're going to start by taking our right hand down into our right thigh, pressing down into our knee until our hip engages. There are days this is all I need. And if it is, you're going to stay here. That's totally fine. Listen to your body, what you need. If you feel like you have more, you could reach through and grab your left thigh. If you feel like you have more from there, you could reach through and grab your left shin. The key is that we want the back of our head to stay grounded into the mat. We're going to stay here for a little bit longer. Our hips take time. We build stress and anxiety into our hips. We get tight through our hips. Riding tightens our hips. The more flexibility we can build through our hips, the easier it is to ride, to recover from injury, to avoid injury, to recover from crashes. Slowly let your left foot come back down to the mat. Leaving your right foot on your left knee, take your hands up to shoulder height. Reach towards either side of your room. Then, grounding into your left shoulder, you're going to drop both of your knees to the right. So that right foot stays on top of your left knee. Actively press back into that left shoulder. Get that nice twist. Inhale back up. Take your right foot up to the sky, reach it up. Press through your heel. Bring your toes towards your shins. Then bend your right knee back down. Other side, left foot up. Bend your left knee, cross your left foot over your right knee. Take your left hand down into your left thigh. Again, this can be all you need. Stay there. If you feel like you have more, mimic the pose from side to side and see how you feel. Slowly, if your foot's up off the mat, let it come back down. Reach your hands out shoulder height toward the either side of the room. Grounding down into your right shoulder, drop both of your knees down to the left. Find that twist. Come back up. Bring your left foot back up to the sky. Reach through your heel. Bring your toe towards your shin. Then bend your left knee. Let your left foot come back down. From here, again, one last time, bring both of your knees into your chest. This time, grab behind your knees. We're going to take one more core pose before we finish. So we're going to rock up to our feet. Then we're going to roll back to our shoulders. We're going to rock up to our feet. Roll back to our shoulders. And then the next time we rock up, we're going to catch ourselves in Navasana, boat pose. You can leave your hands here behind your knees. It's totally fine. We're trying to build length through our collarbone. Maybe you take your hands away, opening your palms up towards the sky. That's fine. Maybe all that hamstring work, you want to work towards straight legs. That's fine as well. Whatever makes sense. Breathe. 4 more breaths. 3 more. 2 more. Your body's shaking. That just means it really loves it. Exhale, come all the way down. Bring your hands up overhead. Exhale, bring your knees in your chest one last time. Let's take happy baby. So we're going to reach up through our knees and find the bottoms of our feet, pressing our heels up towards the sky, our knees into our armpits. If you want, you can rock from side to side, see how that feels. From there, bring the bottoms of your feet together. Let your feet come down to the mat. Let your knees stay nice and wide. From there, take one hand to your heart, one hand to your stomach. Supta Baddha Konasana. Drop your shoulder blades. Come back to how you feel, where you are. This is still an active pose. We're still actively breathing. If you want, you can transition from here towards Shavasana. In Shavasana, we bring our feet out in front of us. We drop our hands down by our hips, letting go into the mat. We're not going to take a super long Shavasana here. I don't think too many people want to sit around and watch me lie around on the floor. But this pose at the end of practice, it reminds us what it means to be alive by coming back to the ground, back to the mat. Take a moment to be grateful. Grateful for your body, grateful for what you're able to do. Find gratitude in your practice, gratitude in your writing. From there, again, take one hand to your heart, one hand to your stomach. Bring your attention around just one breath, the start of the inhale, the end of the exhale. Find the beauty in life, the beauty in just that small one breath. If you can find beauty there, you'll find beauty everywhere. From there, reach your hands up overhead, reach long towards the back of the room. Find your thoughts. Recognize that the words you choose, the deeds you do, your actions resonate. They're part of a bigger whole. Choose your words carefully. Do kind things. That will be reflected back to you. Then with control, roll onto your right-hand side in a fetal position. With just the strength of your hands, press yourself up into an easy seated pose. I'm going to wheel around so I'm facing the camera. Bring your hands down by your side. Again, let's mimic that. Inhale your hands up overhead. Exhale out, heart center. Touch your thumbs over your heart. Close your eyes if that serves you, or leave your eyes open. It doesn't matter. Take a moment to notice your breath, to honor prana, to honor life. We'll seal our practice together today with 3 last controlled breaths. Inhaling through our nose and then exhaling out through our mouth. Take a nice deep inhale in and exhale out. Inhale. Exhale. One more breath. Exhale. That was good. That felt good. Thank you for joining us live on the internet. If you've got questions or anything, feel free to hit us up with comments, with concerns, anything. Hit us up on the internet. We'll totally talk to you about it. See you on the ride. See you on the trail. See you at the group ride. See you on the mat. Have a great one, everyone. Namaste.